In this third part of the pizza ordering tutorial, we are going to see how we can add items to an existing list that can then be used as a drop-down for the user to choose from. So at the moment we have an app which allows us to choose a size of pizza, and it then allows us to choose a flavour of pizza. We only have 3 options in each of these. So in design view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, and I'm then going to create a button, and this button is going to be called button add pizza options, and the text is going to be add more pizza choices. Good idea to make that 300 so that it's all the way across the screen. Maybe not quite so tall though, maybe take it down to about 30. And just adjust that placement. Okay, so when I click this, what do I want to happen? Well, it would help if the choosing more options, giving more options was not part of the main screen. So I'm going to add an additional screen here. I'm going to take this screen icon and I'm going to drop it on here. And this screen is going to be called Screen Pizza Options. Okay, what would I like to have on here? Well, I'm going to start off with a label, and the label is just going to say, so it's going to be called label current pizzas, and the text is going to be current list of pizza flavors. Then I'm going to put a text area. And the text area is going to have a nice scrollable list of the options that we have available at the moment. So that's going to be called text area pizza list. And the text in it is going to be empty to start with. What else are we going to have? Well, we need to be able to add more pizzas. So I'm going to go down here to text input. And I'm going to have this called text input new pizza, and the placeholder is what flavor of pizza to add. And if I just make that 300 so that it fills the width of the screen. And then below that, I'd like a button that allows me, when I've typed a pizza in there, I want a button that lets me add a new pizza into the list. So this is going to be called button add new pizza. And the text is going to be add this pizza flavor to the list. And again, if I make that 300, it will fit nicely on screen. Okay, so we've got this empty area here. We really need it filled up with pizzas. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go back now to screen 1. And it would be helpful if screen 1 had a sensible name, like screen home, for example. And so on screen home, we have all our usual things, including this add more pizzas button. So if I go to events here and insert and show code, when button add pizza options is clicked, what would I like to do? Well, first thing I'd like to do is to flip over to the other screen. So I'm going to use set screen here. So this is going inside button add pizza click, and I'm going to set the screen to be screen pizza options. Now I also need to fill that text box with all of the options that are available. So I'm going to go to set text, And I'm going to set the text of the text area pizza list. And what am I going to set it to? Well, I need to join together all of the options from this drop-down. And we already know that we've got those as a list called var flavor list, var for variable, as in something that can be changed. So flavor list has all of our current pizzas. But how can I get them into this box? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to variables to work with our var. And one of the options here is list.join. So I'm going to put list.join in there. And the list, now I can't use a drop-down list to do this because this is something I created myself. But if I put in there flavor list, and notice I'm spelling it with my camel case, capital F, capital L. If I say flavor list gets joined together into one big string, and instead of dashes between them, I want to put /n. /n is new line. It's like pressing the enter or return key on your keyboard. So it moves it down onto the next line. Okay, let's see if this is working for us. So if I click on run, and then I say I want to add more pizza choices, and then sure enough, I've got a list of the pizzas which currently exist. And if I click on here, I can type in something like Hawaiian. And if I click on add this pizza, nothing happens at the moment because I don't yet have any code for this button. Okay, so when I click that button, what do I want to happen? Well, I'm going to click this here. I'm going to go to Design View and Insert and Show Code. And then when button Add Pizza option is clicked, what do I want to do? I want to do two things. I want to add it to my list of flavors, and I want to update the list that is shown on the screen. So how do I add to the list of flavors? Well, that's quite easy. I have append item. So I'm going to say append item. Where am I appending it to? I'm appending it to flavor list. And what am I putting on? I'm putting on whatever is in this box here, which is a text input. So I'm going to again use get text. So I need to find out what the user typed in. So I get text. What do I get text of? I use text input new pizza. And that should add it to my list. And I guess I could reuse this bit here to now rewrite my list of options. And that's actually probably quite a good idea rather than having to mess about with adding text on. So to make things easy, I'm going to go into show text. I'm going to highlight the bit that joined everything together, and I'm going to copy that. And after I've added in something onto the end of the list, I'm going to paste that in there so that it rebuilds the list with the extra bit added on. Back to show blocks. Let's try it out. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to click on add more pizza choices. I'm going to type in here Hawaiian with lots of extra A's. I'm going to click on add this flavor to the list, and nothing happened. So what is going on there? Okay, so I can see that what I've done here is I've got two versions of button add pizza option. So I wasn't really paying attention to what I'd clicked there. This should really be button add new pizza. So it's when button add new pizza gets clicked that I change the list. If I try and run that, I'm going to add more pizza choices. I'm going to come in here and put, I don't know, something like chicken. Add pizza to the list, and sure enough it goes on the end here, so it must have been joined on to that list of choices. Problem is I'm now stuck on this screen here, so I need to add a button that takes me back to the ordering option. So let me just do that. I'm going to go into design. I'm going to make sure that I'm on screen pizza options. I'm going to add on a button at the bottom. This button is called button go home. And when I click on it, I actually want to do two things. As well as going back to the main button, I actually want to apply the new list of pizzas to the drop down. Otherwise, there was no point in adding it on. So what I'm going to do first of all is I am going to set properties. So remember that when the drop downs, it's a property that we are changing. So I'm going to set the property of drop down pizza flavor. It's not the width of it I want to change, it's the options that are available that I want to change. And I want to swap them to, and I can't see the option here, so I just have to drag that out and get rid of it and replace it in here with flavor list. Okay, once I've added those into the drop-down menu, I can then switch back to that screen. So I'm then going to say set screen, and I'm going to change this to screen home. Okay, let's try it out. I'm going to have a look. I've got 3 margherita, pepperoni, and barbecue. I'm going to click on add more pizza choices. I'm going to try and type Hawaii, Hawaiian, and add that to the menu. Maybe try another one. Maybe try, again, I'll try that chicken, if I could spell, and add that to the menu. And then I'm going to click this button, which really should have had a bit of improvement to it. And then sure enough, when I get here, I have more options, including chicken. And then I can shout that.
I would like a 10.
And that did call out chicken there. Okay, so I need to go into design view. I need to go back to screen pizza options. This button here, I need to change its properties. So for example, it needs to say on it, return to ordering screen. It should probably be 300 wide. And because it's a going back doing thing, again, I'm going to use green as a choice on that to make it obvious that it's a different type of action. Okay, so we have the option of changing our pizzas. One of the things that we found when we were doing our testing was that when you change the size, it didn't always change what was going on. So let's just have a look at that. If I choose a pepperoni, it says I'd like a 10-inch pepperoni. If I change now to 16, it doesn't do an update. So we need an on-change handler for this drop-down too. Let's go into code view. Let's take the drop-down. I have to choose it in design view. Go to events and insert and show code. Drop down pizza size change. When it changes, what do I want to happen? Exactly the same as happens when I change the pizza flavor. So I could probably go into show text. Here's my drop down pizza change. I can copy that. And then I can add that down at the position where the size changes. Okay, so we have the ordering options for our pizzas. We can add more pizzas, and we should probably do the same thing with the list of sizes. We could add more options like deep pan or stuffed crust or something like that. And you only do that if you are able to add more options to that list.